My brief history with Thriller: A Cruel Picture has been an interesting one, to say the least. I went from having never heard of the film to getting caught up in the hype surrounding this Vinegar Syndrome release to hearing several wildly differing opinions on the film. So how cruel is Thriller: A Cruel Picture? Stick around to find out. Thriller: A Cruel Picture starts out with a rather picturesque opening, involving a young girl running carefree through the woods on a beautiful sunny day. She soon discovers an older, bearded man just standing around in the woods. The little girl gives him a leaf, and he picks her up and begins spinning her around joyously in circles. It's like an episode of Little House on the Prairie. Until he starts drooling a black liquid and then does something really bad to her. The young girl, her name is Madeline, is rendered mute because of this encounter. Fast forward a few years and Madeline decides to accept a ride into town from an ostensibly affluent gentleman named Tony. She accompanies him to a lavish dinner, and afterward, they retire back to Tony's place. I guess Madeline has learned to trust again. Unfortunately, Tony isn't nice. He's the kind of guy who kidnaps young girls, gets them addicted to smack, and then forces them into a life of prostitution. And as if that weren't bad enough, Tony blinds Madeline in one eye and writes nasty letters to her parents, signed by Madeline, most likely while smacked up, resulting in both of her parents taking their own lives. It's a real feel-good picture here. Fortunately for Madeline, there are at least a few good guys out there. One guy teaches her martial arts, another guy teaches her how to use a gun, a third teaches her how to drive. Why, you ask? Madeline wants revenge. So Thriller: A Cruel Picture is notable and controversial for a few reasons. Writer and director Bo Arne Vibenius inserted scenes of actual pornography into the film, resulting in Thriller being banned in Sweden. An edited version was eventually approved, and the edited down version, removing not just the porn inserts, but other graphic moments, was distributed throughout the world under titles like They Call Her One Eye and Hooker's Revenge. For a scene involving an eye being penetrated by a scalpel, Vibenius reportedly used a recently deceased young woman he was able to borrow from the local morgue as a stand-in. Quentin Tarantino is a huge fan of the film, and it inspired his own revenge epic, Kill Bill. Because of these things, Thriller acquired quite a reputation and a sizable cult following. I went into the movie expecting Grindhouse. Very Grindhouse. And it's definitely Grindhousey, but for all the sex and nudity, the violence, and even the pornography, it never felt exploitative to me. After Madeline's training is complete, she sets out to get revenge against her former clients, and ultimately, Tony. Nearly every action scene, be it a shootout or a fistfight, is filmed in extreme slow motion. These sequences are accompanied by this atonal music. While it does highlight some not-so-good acting and some less than precisely choreographed fights, the slow-mo with the strange music feels poetic. And the porn inserts aren't there to be sexy. Quite the opposite. They're intended to shock you and further underline Madeline's abuse and humiliation. Now, this release includes a version of the film with those inserts excluded. Are they necessary? Personally, I could have done without them, but to each their own. Vibenius does an excellent job of making you feel for Madeline, as does star Christina Lindberg. You want her to have her revenge, and because we've accompanied her on nearly every grueling step of her journey, when she does have her revenge, it feels earned. Lindberg's performance is compelling, and she doesn't speak a single word. She manages to convey everything she needs to with the subtlest gesture or the slightest expression. You understand why she's created this brick wall around her, but when you see those walls start to crumble as they do when she discovers that her parents are dead, it's intense. However, as violent as the film is, when it comes to Tony's demise, it's rather abrupt and takes place off screen. We watch Madeline watch him die, and when it's done, there's no sense of victory or relief in her. She doesn't bask in the glow of her revenge. There's no histrionic displays of any kind. She simply drives away, and the screen cuts to black. Thriller: A Cruel Picture is quite a ride. I went into it not knowing what to expect, and by the end, I was left speechless. Thriller provided more depth than I was expecting. Lindberg's performance is stunning, and out of all the revenge movies that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of revenge movies, Thriller: A Cruel Picture is now hovering right around the top of my favorite revenge movies list. As for this new 4K UHD release from Vinegar Syndrome, I can't compare it to any previous releases of the film because I've never seen the film on any other release. But I thought the UHD presentation was sharp, highly detailed, and provided a surprisingly wide range of vivid colors. There's still a nice level of film grain present, retaining that grindhousey vibe, but it's a fairly clean grindhousey vibe. The DTS HD Master audio track sounded full-bodied and pretty killer. I'd give both the picture quality and the sound quality on this release a solid 4.5 out of 5. So this is the standard 4K release of the film. I didn't get in on that fancy box set release, but this one is still pretty cool. It comes with 3 discs, 2 Blu-rays, and a 4K, and a slick slip. As far as extras are concerned, on Blu-ray Disc 1, we have Thriller: A Cruel Documentary, an extended making-of documentary which features interviews with star Christina Lindberg, stuntman Bo Sundfeld, Lassie Lundgren, stunt driver Gunnar Palm, and more. It's 42 minutes and 57 seconds in length. They discuss writer and director Bo Arne Vibenius' background, the cast, the stunts, the pornographic inserts, the infamous scalpel in the eye shot, selling the film to Sam Arkoff of AIP for distribution, getting ripped off by AIP, the film's legacy, its cult status, and more. We get a teaser and a theatrical trailer for Thriller, a trailer and TV spot for They Call Her One Eye, and a theatrical trailer for Hooker's Revenge. We also get an audio commentary with author and critic Alexandra Heller-Nichols, which is also on the 4K disc. On Blu-ray Disc 2, we have Adrian and Christina, an interview with Christina Lindberg conducted by filmmaker Adrian Garcia. It's 57 minutes and 25 seconds in length. We have Christina Lindberg, the Paris interview, an interview with Miss Lindberg conducted by Christian Valor from 2015. It's 59 minutes and 44 seconds in length. We have the Alamo Drafthouse Q&A with Miss Lindberg from 2017. It's 31 minutes and 43 seconds in length. We have still galleries, radio spots, and outtakes. We get an audio track for the song Single by Ms. Lindberg, and we get a sob commercial directed by Bo Arne Vibenius. I highly recommend Thriller: A Cruel Picture. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but if my review intrigued you at all, I say check it out. If you've seen Thriller: A Cruel Picture, let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you've already picked up this release from Vinegar Syndrome, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below also. And while you're down there, why don't you share with me some of your own favorite revenge movies? If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.